to learn, who become their parents. So what you give them is what they will have. And my certificates, what I saw is both learning and character. How are we preparing these children for tomorrow? That's why we have this support session today. But I believe that at the end of this conference, the new design, the new design, I will push, others, then the one, whatever is not. Yes. My first. I'm so sorry I didn't preach to intellectuals. But was not an opportunity I was given to me. But I think God said this. So don't let me do much. The Chairman also, thank you very much. I wish you a successful stay in the college. I know you won't have any issue because I know the rector is very careful. And very safe. So I wish you a happy celebration. Thank you and God bless us. Talk without that. And that's I said we then encourage so standing here, I said don't support the ASUP. Let's support the
very much, Executive Chairman, AKPOLY local government area, on this occasion of the second international conference of ASUP. He happens to be the chairman. Please, can we appreciate this chairman? Of course, he did not just do the opening remarks. He landed very well. It's the language of the politics. So let us appreciate him again. Very welcome. You understand that today, ASUP Akwa State Polytechnic sits very confidently in the map of the global village, hosting this second international conference that will contribute to the entire wealth of knowledge. We are very happy, even more, to have some people do homecoming, like the executive chairman of AKPOLY, who was here with us and happened to come home. And we have another that was here with us, and for a call of duty, happened to keep going, and today he has come home. We're going to see him, and we are very happy to have him in our midst. He's no other but the lead paper presenter on this conference. I'm talking of a man that has a PhD in physical chemistry from the University of Calabar, Nigeria, and has to his credit more than 129 publications. Can't we just clap for that? Very wonderful, ladies and gentlemen of academic. Appreciate and welcome Professor Nabu Okonedi, lead paper presenter. I said he was a part of us. The deputy rector recognized organizers that it was about. Please, can we appreciate that? It is time for us to call on the chairman, the man that is making it possible for us to gather like this. No other than chairman of ASUP, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikorosulua, in the person of Comrade Etienne Ugo, who happens to be the chairman of co-heads of unions in Akwa Ibom State. Please, can we appreciate that?
Thank you. The rector of Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, who is ably represented by the deputy rector, Dr. Engineer Ogonosong, the chairman of the occasion, and the executive chairman of the Igorepene Local Government Area 1951, Honorable Nyibe Etim, the lead paper presenter, Professor Nabo Gonedi, and the keynote address presenter, Professor B.L. Apam, on the wife from the University of Uyo, deans of schools, directors of units, heads of departments, my dear participants, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin this address with a quote from an American philosopher, William Penn. I expect to pass through this world at once. Any good, therefore, that I do, or any kindness that I can show to any fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. It pleases me to formally welcome you to this academic gathering today. I thank God for His grace and enablement to achieve this great feat for our generation in the academia. It might interest you to know that the first national conference of ASUP in this polytechnic was held in April 2009. And the chairperson of that local organizing committee was Dr. Mrs. Messi Umakaso. And the theme was the relevance of the polytechnic system in meeting the challenges of the 7-point agenda. For 13 years, it had not been possible to organize another one. However, during my campaign for the position of ASUP chairman, I did promise that this type of event would be held. I and my ESCO earnestly and aggressively worked very hard to ensure delivery of this promise. And today, the second international conference is here, to the glory of God. Let me acknowledge everyone who worked for this project to get it completed. According to Mother Teresa, none of us, including me, ever do great things. But we can all do small things with great love, and together we can do something wonderful. This conference is another example of collaborative effort of which our union is known for. I appreciate the chief host of this conference and the rector of the Polytechnic, Dr. Moses Umobong, who has shown us more than enough commitment. Sir, ASUP is grateful, and God bless your effort. Permit me to equally acknowledge the Polytechnic management
members of academic board and all academic staff for their support and believe in this current ASUP Expo. Your encouragements are tremendous, and we will not in any way throw away this confidence reposed on us. I must not fail to, in a special way, appreciate the conference LOC led by Dr. Mrs. Mercy Ubana, CLN. You have done wonderfully well, and I commend your effort towards the success of this event. Dear participants, the theme of this gathering, Re-engineering Nation System for Sustainable Development, is up, considering the spillover effect of COVID-19 pandemic. Our systems, individual and collective, have been challenged by the pandemic, hence the call for a redefinition of issues bothering us as individuals, communities, and as a nation. The team is positioned as an ideal representation because concepts have been contested and continue to be redefined. I believe that this team signifies hope for self-awareness and societal stability in order to achieve the ideological and globally accepted system. It is my belief that this conference will facilitate intense awareness, cooperation, and recognition of common goals bothering us as a nation. It will shape our identities by providing efficient structures for inclusive and sustainable development of our nation. I therefore charge all participants to make good use of these avenues in this conference to learn, as this gathering of academic heads can never be convoked without gain. This is why Jim Stovall noted that you need to be aware of what others are doing, applaud their effort, acknowledge their successes, and encourage them in their pursuits. When we all help one another, everybody wins. Let me thank our lead speakers, our very own Professor Nabogedi, who began his academic journey here in the Department of Science, Laboratory Technology at AKPOLY State Polytechnic, Ikorosodoa. And today, he is a professor of physical and computational chemistry, University of Nsukka. Most great sir. I equally acknowledge Professor Nayar E.S. Kanwal, University Putra, Malaysia, for accepting to join us via Zoom. AKPOLY appreciates you, and we know you are with us now. I equally salute the keynote presenter and the wife, Professor P.L. Apan of the University of Uyo. Thank you for coming to share your academic experience with us. I thank all participants and welcome you to AKPOLY State Polytechnic in the Rafia city of Igbo. Feel free to mingle. Do have a rewarding stay and fruitful deliberations. Finally, I am grateful to God for giving us this enablement to complete this professional assignment. Long live ASUP. Long live AKPOLY State Polytechnic. Long live AKPOLY State. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were sterling words of an address just presented by a promise-keeping, a manifesto delivering, and never found wanting chairman of ASUP. Please, can we appreciate this gentleman that is doing wonderfully well as the chairman of you. Appreciate you, sir. It is time, like I said, that this thank you very much. We understand that the chairman on this occasion has an urgent call from the chief executive of the state and would like to attend to that higher call. So, ladies and gentlemen, permit him, even as he excused. Thank you very much. We appreciate your coming and all that you have done for this community, AKPOLY State Polytechnic. Thank you very much. Please, can we encourage him finding time to be here with us? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we await the Deputy Rector's return, because he has a duty to perform very well, I am reliably informed that the keynote presenter in the person of Professor P.L. Ahmad is also coming home here, because at a point he was a principal lecturer in this polytechnic. So please, can we appreciate all of them for finding time to be here with us in this gathering. Professor, thank you for coming and welcome. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for this conference to be declared open. And nobody's got the right to that shoes except the chief executive and the chief host of this conference, the second international conference of ASUP. Unfortunately, is being represented by a man who knows how to do it well. On that note, therefore, permit me to call on the Deputy Rector, Engineer Dr. Okon Oso. So please declare this conference open.
The date, paper presenter, the names of schools here present. The heads of departments, the heads of units, the participants, members of the press, I want to say good morning and welcome to this second international conference organized by Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, the Polytechnic chapter. It's very important that academic staff get used to conferences. Conference shapes, or conferences shape the minds of intellectuals. You agree with me that conferences shape the minds of individuals. Another thing that shapes the minds of intellectuals is reading. Reading. I'm impressed that so many of you have turned up and the house is filled up. We couldn't expect something better. May God bless all of you who have come in Jesus' name. I am standing here to represent my rector, Dr. Moses Umobong, who is unavoidably absent. He's not in the States. So there's no way we can get him down here. Some very, very strong government agencies are having something to do with him now. And there was no way when you are Thank you very much for accepting that he can't be here. His apologies. Talking about the theme of the conference, re-engineering nation system for sustainable development. About it. I'm not those who will say about it are there. I can't go to the here. When they were here, they were stars. And when they left this place, and when they also saw them as stars. Those two people who are here. I want to thank us for remembering that they were here and they should be here today. And this God bless them in Jesus' name. I'm going to do what they were supposed to do. And all I'm going to say is that the engineering we are talking about is not to go to a mechanical engineering workshop there and produce equipment like we did the last quarter. That is not what we are talking about here. The word re-engineering has become synonymous with the strategizing at the chairman of the local government area was talking about. It's not it's very word now in Nigeria or in the world. Even World Bank is saying re-engineering the banking system. Have you not heard that before? The World Bank saying they want to re-engineer the banking system. The aviation industry, like everywhere, they are saying they're re-engineering even the system in the house. So that they won't guide the house, so that the house can go. With inflation. So engineering in this case means re-strategizing. If you like to, you can be remapping, restructuring, remolding, mending, redoing something. That's really engineering. And then the systems, we all know the systems we have. All those things gather together that help us to stay where we stay or to move forward. They are systems. In some instances and in some countries, those systems help us to stay where we are and to move backward. In some places, these systems help them to move forward. I don't know if you have your opinion whether our system are moving us forward or keeping us stagnant or moving us backward. We are going to discuss. I'm very happy to be here. The systems at the end aims to be finished departments, agencies, parastatals of government, food system, customs, immigration, prison service, police, judiciary, transport sector, the industries. If we want to pick one, the system in I still call it NEPA. People are thinking it another name. The system there is still helping us to move forward or not. The educational system. All forms of all types of systems. We know that in all sectors of the economy. As we say, we need to re-engineer them to help us move forward. Because the way it is now, if they are not being engineered, we stay where we are and somebody is stagnant and not making progress. It's not difficult. We need to change our attitude in order to be able to be engineered. Our attitude cannot help us to be engineered. And I want to ask you, are you ready for re-engineering? Let me answer for you. You are not ready. Nobody answer. I'm not going to stand in for the back. 1 second for something for somebody to say yes. Nobody say yes. I said we are not ready to really the reason is that our attitude is not in order. You need a change of attitude to be engineer. I also want to ask, can we re-engineer engineer in the system? Yes, my answer is yes. But this yes is based on if we are ready to change our attitude and change our mentality. The mentality for now is there money in that place? If there is no money, why is it? Where people are making progress, they are not looking at money, they are looking at them. They are looking at them. That their name will be written on the stamp of cash. Most of you know the use of technology. Those who brought about electricity, those who brought about radio, those who brought about business, their name. Education students, they know a lot of people, there are a lot of people brought about that. Their names have been written on the stamp of time. The people who were rich in our own time that time, I don't know where they know much about it. When we close here like 4 p.m. and we are watching at 4 p.m. should come, we are not ready for this. Because in some places, in some clients, people sit down to 10 p.m. If they are that in the office. So we engineer the system to move their country forward. At 4 p.m., everybody up. It's not like that. As I said earlier, I'm not going to be here forever. But I just wanted to say that we have to change our before we can be engineer. And we really need to re-engineer our system. If you read foreign news, if you look at data from all over the bodies that give out data about different countries and different sectors of the economy, you find out that Nigeria is now in a serious decline. The development is not all about driving cars around the workplace. The development is what do you put on the table? What does Nigeria put on the table in the world? What have we invested? What have we presented to the world? The British gave us electricity. They gave us telecommunications. The Russians and Americans have told us much about the food. What have we done in Nigeria? That is what that is positive at the world level. Not people getting done and getting the tax on the land. Not this place. All of that. All over the country. I want to tell the truth is that other parts of the world have been involved, especially in Africa. What have we brought onto the table? We now want 5G telecommunication network. We have not produced one thing of 3G. We are not. But the Nigerian marathons are rushing to introduce 5G. So that all the components, 100% components of 5G, and the way they do everything, we'll just be watching. We don't know anything about it, and they will carry all our money away. What have we brought to the table to be shared for the world to enjoy? It's these cars we are driving. Engineer Beto, hold on. Have you produced? But it's not an individual government. I want to ask you. I saw a lot of equipment production. Carburetor. Our funds to try. What is available now, even for us to modify? We need to change our attitude. Thank you for bearing with me for what I've said. On behalf of my rector, able rector, I hereby declare this very important conference open in the name of God the Father.
Thank you. Our very estimable rector of this great citadel of learning, the AKPOLY State Polytechnic, ably represented by the Deputy Rector, Engineer Dr. Okulasu. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference has not been declared open. Can we please appreciate the Chief Host for being justice tonight? We are so grateful. Thank you very much. From 2009 to 2022, you can agree with me that there has been progress. I like to tell you that even this conference is being streamed live online. You can have it on Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. And so that's progress. We are moving step by step. Can we please appreciate technological explosion? We are making good use of it. Thank you. It is time for us to bring on the keynote address. But before we do that, permit me to call on Mr. Uyomo Eto to please come and take the citation for Professor P.L. Akpan of the University of Uyo. Please, can we appreciate this one?
Director, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my request that Professor Akpan please stand. It remains not just a phenomenon or a distinguished professor, but an inspiration to people of his generation. He has been a member of Nigeria's Technical Working Group for preparation of medium-term national development plan from 2021 to 2025, 7 national development plan from 2026 to 2030, and the federal government of Nigeria Agenda for Nation 2050. He holds a PhD degree in economics from the University of Canada, a PhD degree in administrative and development management from the University of Port Harcourt, and MBA degree with thesis from Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Enugu, an MSc degree from the University of Uyo, Nigeria. These are in addition to other academic and professional qualifications. He has a litany of fellowship and membership holdings in many professional bodies, such as Fellow Academy of Management of Nigeria, Fellow Institute of Management Specialists, United Kingdom, Fellow Institute of Corporate Administrators, Fellow Institute of Policy and Management Development, Fellow Chartered Institute of Executive Accountants, London, Fellow Institute of Business Administration and Knowledge Management, Fellow Chartered Business Administrator, London, Fellow Chartered Knowledge Managers, Fellow Institute of Business Diplomacy and Financial Management, Nigeria, Certified Public Accountant, University, United States of America, Fellow the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Fellow Institute of Management Consultants, Nigeria, Fellow Strategic Institute for Natural Resources and Human Development, Fellow Institute of Information Management, Fellow Academic Researches, Malaysia, Fellow Nigerian Institute of Management, Honorable Justice of the Peace. Based on National Universities Commission database for all professors in Nigerian universities, the professor is the first indigenous professor of business administration from Cross River and Akwa Ibom states. He has been a tenured professor of business administration at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, as well as dual professor of marketing of same university. He also serves and sits on dual professorial chair at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Presently, he is a tenured professor and life member of Senate at the University of Uyo, Nigeria. At various times, this intelligent and brilliant scholar was the foundation director, Nnamdi Azikiwe University UNISIC Business School, which is equivalent in status to Harvard and Lagos Business Schools. He has been director of Faculty of Management Sciences, postgraduate MBA degree program coordinating many academic departments in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. He remains a faculty/club member of Harvard Business School. He has been a chairman and member of different universities, senate, faculty, departments, committees, amongst other positions in the university system. He has served as member and chairman of various accreditation panels set by the Nigerian Universities Commission to evaluate postgraduate and undergraduate degree programs in 25 different universities in Nigeria, such as the University of Lagos, University of Ilorin, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, and so many others. This great scholar was appointed by NUC as chairman of the committees of 5 professors that facilitated the establishment and accreditation of Dangote Business School at Bayero University, Ghana. This management scholar and expert sits on the editorial board of many journals, including Global Journal of Business and Management, Journal of Management Sciences and African Academic Journal, indexed by Scopus and Global Scholar, cross-read with impact factor. This academic icon has at different times served as visiting professor to many universities in Nigeria, some of which are ASUP Business School, University of Uyo, Ezekiel University, to mention just a few. Regarding academic leadership, he has many research teams in different universities through Senate research grants, Ted Fund Award, and other research and donor agencies. As a prolific writer and researcher of international repute, with a blend of academic expertise of professional value, this keynote speaker for this event has 200 well-researched, indexed, and abstracted journal articles published in different reputable and international peer-reviewed journals within Nigeria and overseas universities to square. Some of his scholarly works have been translated into 7 different languages, including English, French, Arabic, German, Spanish, Polish, Portuguese, under the auspices of the Council of Europe and European Development Council and Polish Academy of Science, and placed in many libraries of universities and reference centers around the globe. He has also authored 5 textbooks, 2 of which are co-authored works. Current global ranking in academia reveals that the creative output and scholarly publications of this professor is accessed by 42 million people in the world and used by academics and 16,962 universities globally. Our prof has equally served as the external examiner for undergraduate and postgraduate programs at different times in about 17 universities in Nigeria. He has successfully supervised 35 PhD, 88 MSc, and MBA students and graduated them. In the same time, he has served as external assessor at various universities and has assessed 22 academic staff for promotion to the rank of professor and 18 others for promotion to the rank of associate professor. He has served as chairman of local organizing committees for many academic conferences in Nigeria and overseas. He has served as Federal Commissioner and Board Member, National Gallery of Art, Abuja, a parastatal of the Federal Ministry of Tourism and National Orientation under two different heads of states, that is President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, first under President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, blessed memory, and President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. The Prof has served as Chairman Nigerian Delegation to Miami, Florida, on International Economic Cooperation and International Exponential of Visual Arts, Subsector and Economic Development. He has equally served at other top-level management positions of both public and private agencies in Nigeria, some of which include Member Vice Chancellor's Advisory Committee, alternate Chair Governing Board of UNICEF, and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, this great professor in our midst has been involved in justice and peace, alternative dispute resolution, and other development-oriented activities in different communities in the country. He is a disciplinarian and a perfect gentleman of uncommon humility. As a management consultant and specialist, development and research expert, he is a delight to behold and has embarked on different research programs in different countries and cities, some of which include United States of America, London, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Chicago, Dubai, Miami, Florida, Atlanta, New York, on Chess State in New Jersey, Baltimore, Boston, to He has ample opportunities for service in the trainers workshop and research program of the British Council, UNDP, OPEC, and other agencies. These consultant economists and management specialists is a Christian, a worthy knight of the Noble Order of Saint Mulumba. It is aptly married to Associate Professor Mrs. Mercy Patrick Akpan, another member of the University of Ibadan. Their marriage is blessed with 4 lovely children. The rector, members of the AKPOLY, ladies and gentlemen, it's my singular honor and privilege to introduce to us the keynote speaker in the person of Professor Patrick M. Akpan.
Can we just give a standing ovation, please? Deserves all the accolades.
stand on the already existing protocol that we put in place and duly observed. In an occasion like this, when I know how to put it, I may not know what to say. When I know what to say, I may not know what to say. That of course the context the fact that I will have a lot of things to say, but I just want to capture this in the best I can. The theme of this conference is Engineering the Nigerian System Sustainable Development. That topic is very apt and appropriate. But if you get a peep into it, it covers the whole world. And no one keynote address can cover all that. I will crave the indulgence of this audience to allow me to adjust and shape this topic this way. Re-engineering Nigerian system for sustainable development, ventilating a suffocating nation. So it is a great honor and privilege that I present this keynote address at this 60th International Conference of the Academic Staff General Polytechnic. Let me start by paying tribute to God in the sustainable life for making it possible for all of us to be here before Him the glory. In a special way, I acknowledge and appreciate the proprietor of this Polytechnic, the Executive Governor of Akwa State. I appreciate the rector who is here represented, all members of the academic board, all the members of the high table, all members of academic staff union of Polytechnic of Surah, and the lead representative, and all of us here present. In a special way, I take my presentation to the staff of the students of this community, and I appreciate this opportunity offered me to share my thoughts and articulations in this academic tradition. Conference is an academic tradition. And I just learned here now for about 30 years and must have made a lot. May I pray your audience to that remain a yearly affair, so that you learn a lot. Let me say on a great standing that what offers me greatest pleasure, though it's the honor of being associated with academic tradition in this institution, is that this conference comes up precisely 1 year from when I stepped aside from this Polytechnic. I remember my letter of stepping aside from day dated 21st September 2002. And today is 21st September 2002. This is historic. Of course, not a sparrow fall on the ground without knowledge. God must have programmed him without anointing, and it has happened. To him be the glory. So, with this sense of humility and responsibility, the United States that it comes from before us at this conference is an old tradition, and of course, an embodiment of a series of issues and that this nation. I have chosen a topic, like I told you, to re-engineering nation development or nation systems for sustainable development, ventilating a suffocating nation. Of course, you know it is no longer news that the Nigerian system is actually suffocating and desiring ventilation. Change and living gradually from present states of overdynamics to underdevelopment. Having situated this topic in the present Nigerian situation, I'd like to take a look at this presentation as it affects Nigeria. Even though we have a peek into a few other countries, some other plans. So, we go into conceptual clarification. We are aware of the fact that Nigeria is actually suffocating. The country of embedded values, a country which can challenge an elephant, a country in which nothing was correctly, A country that builds houses from the rooftop. That's the kind of system that we find ourselves. It's very important. So by way of conceptual clarification, my understanding, I believe that many others believe this also. Re-engineering is simply associated with redesigning the reform, business process associated with the reorganizing the structure, dramatic improvement, all geared towards sustainable development. Put it the other way around, we call it remodeling. A reform, process of changing and improving the way we run our own life, we run our own nation, we run our own organization. The translation of this expression into action through appropriate policies is a guide for action so you can achieve sustainable development. So development will signify different things to different people. In strict economic terms of balance, development traditionally signifies capacity of a national economy whose initial economic condition has less or has been stagnant or static for decades as Nigeria has been. And so the current experience in the world which Nigeria is born shows that many nations have not been able to realize the economic growth targets. Standard of living remains unchanged, very stagnant. The rich remain richer and the poor poorer. This implies that there appears some obvious constraints of development. So development here is associated with issues of poverty, equitable income distribution, and rising unemployment. It's no longer new that looking for a job in Nigeria has actually become a job itself. So the objectives of development here rests are not restricted to increasing enough availability, wide the distribution of basic life, sustaining goods such as food, shelter, protection, and all that. Development also has to do with the job creation, income generation, better education, cultural and human values. And so an authority in this area who has articulated so many recent programs in area development with the city of the University of Harvard has it this way that development implies increasing skill and capacity. For us to achieve this, greater freedom, self-confidence, creativity, self-discipline, responsibility, and material well-being are required. So development as a societal phenomenon is pregnant roots and demands the involvement of all sections of the society. So take a look at sustainable development. In this case, the World Commission on Environment and Development views sustainable development as being associated with development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the future generation in meeting their needs. So development can only be sustained in an environment where basic social infrastructural facilities like access roads, health facilities, electricity, education, transport, and all that are provided. Thus, sustainable development requires model. When it's not going around, probably you have to re-strategize, remodel, reform in order to put a system in order. So each country has its own approach of reform. The approach adopted by Nigeria may not be adopted by other countries. Even though in Nigeria, we believe in borrowing or importing an imported program in Nigeria without considering the environmental vicissitudes of Nigeria, and such a program may not actually work. Let's take a look at the states and development. It is pertinent to state here that the conscious effort to overcome the rigidities found in a state involved economic development. All that we are here for, all that the state government may be doing in coordination at large, they are all just towards the sustainable development. Then education comes in as a pillar of all that we are doing. But education from the areas of time has been recognized as a pragmatic and basic source of sustainable development in any nation. Put simply the other way around, economic emancipation of a state is not possible without sound education. For economic development of a state to be meaningful, the quality of labor matters a lot. As we are here, the quality of labor that we render matters a lot. In Now, to ensure total achievement of sustainable development, adequate general education, training schools like the universities, polytechnic, colleges of education, research centers, and colleges of technology are all very important. They remain as investment. But unfortunately, the investment of the state in human capital is highly very productive. But then we discover that some of us in the system are not holding helping matters. Some people in position are not helping matters, they are helping to destroy the system. How do we destroy them? We use atomic bomb, we use missiles. So the collapse of education in the system as this view provide. And a strong any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long-range missiles. Rather, it requires lowering the quality of education and allowing the cheating in examination to take precedence over the other one. All aspects of sorting, who knows who syndrome, bottom sex for marks, and all that. They are ingredients of destroying the dictates of sustainable development. And so in this case, patients die in the hands of such doctors. They pass exam through sorting. Buildings will collapse at the hands of such engineers. Money is lost in the hands of such accountants and economists. Humanity dies at the hands of such religious scholars. And justice is lost at the hands of such judges. What about the health sector? The health sector is very, very important. And in order to increase efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity of labor, the health sector plays a significant role for the purpose of development. Now, for those of you who have been having a baptism or political baptism, you know that we cannot talk about it without thinking into what we call political economic development. And so the pilot of political economic development here, or hazard of development, is how to restrain the desire for immediate consumption and encourage production. In government these days, they emphasize consumption, how to share it, but not how to pay, which is unfortunate. Democracy in those days used to be government of the people, for the people, and by the people. But in recent times, that they were forced into government of the parliamentarians for their cause and for their own. And so, the development process in recent times is devoid of external influence or exploitation. There are some problems associated with it. This question will cover the problems of economic and social development. This problem will include, but not related to the will and possibility of installing and maintaining the state, a regime capable of re-engineering and informing the society and structures towards achieving greatness and improvement. That becomes a problem at the starting time. The will and possibility of eradicating immediate consumption habits of government. Because inculcating a spirit of production and investment, because of pressure to consumers, caused by corrupt tendencies. Electing a national government that is characterized by corrupt practice. Of course, we know that the soldiers of corruption in Nigeria are not that corrupt themselves. So who build the cash? Using the police force to hold the cadet and affairs of governance for all the attendant benefits is a major challenge. The police could be good, it can also be bad, depending on their own ideology and the way of being built. Now, let us take a look at economic engineering objectives. The engineering progress or engineering of a nation has some basic objectives. And what are these objectives? Take a look at that. Looking at government policies and growth in a Nigerian context, be an opportunity for the future. And then fostering youth-centric approach to rethinking, career acceleration, and business optimization strategies targeted at sustainable small and medium enterprises. Remain a source of growth. Galvanizing the renewed commitment from stakeholders and development partners to prioritize economic growth that can sustain job creation among the youth. No matter of having youths that can be used for politics and jobs. Providing employability. The objective is simply to provide employability, training, and career acceleration opportunities for younger Nigerians for all Nigerians. Now, how do we re-engineer a system? How do we re-engineer Nigeria? The tenets of re-engineering a system requires fundamental creative thinking the unthinkable, a radical reform of the system and process. All this will be aimed at dramatic improvement in legal contemporary measures of performance, using the cost. Cost of governance these days, is very, very huge. If a particular politician is to come here now, one will not less than 20 to 30 vehicles. Compare this to what happened in some other time, where a prime minister will simply go to the Bible himself. But if it's a particular politician now that go for vacation somewhere, it's number of vehicles that will come. And if he has malaria, the student will go. Meanwhile, the hospital says and work the way they are supposed to work. So we can re-engineer a system by way of having what we call information availability and the details concerned from internal and external sources. You identify the problem. Literally, we believe that problem identified is problem and solved. So when the problem has not been identified, it is difficult to know that such a problem is existent. So it must be identified. That must be involved. The information sharing. Share this information to the people concerned so that they can think about it. If the primary school in your village, children are staying under mango tree and no building. The government does not have the information, nothing is done about it. So they will have to be aware that such a thing is happening. Adaptation of relevant technology to achieve that result. Here is a polytechnic to have all forms of technological courses sustainable here. The challenge to be all the chairs that are using for lectures will be manufactured by students. In my own university, the Department of Vocational and Technical Education manufactures all the chairs that are used in that university. Anything furniture manufactured by those students. And this happening in some other universities. The question I don't need the answer now. Let us take a look at re-engineering and sustainable development next. There is a commingling, that intermingling, and the intermingling, commingling, and the coming together. That nexus that exists between re-engineering and sustainable development. So an examination of the nexus between re-engineering and development reveals a marriage of two strengthened values. Development the other side and re-engineering the other way. When Nigeria embarks on any re-engineering program, they will not consider the environmental situation, but rather go ahead to impose a program. Because of this presentation, you will see that there are some programs that were ill-conceived and do not be done in proper way, even though it could be a good program. But since it was well-conceived, that considering the Nigerian environment, that program became a failure. So, the potential associated with human natural resource endowment in Nigeria towards sustainable development has remained relatively untapped over the years because of over-reliance on the downstream subsector of the economy. Most previous and present policies in the country have left the country ill-prepared for the collapse of the sector, such as the group called production and policy discussion. Re-engineering is not new. It has been there from the earliest of time. And so, it has been intensified in its own merit and distinction, and has become a subject of public discourse in various fora. This is not the first conference we are talking about sustainable development. Even outside this plan, this particular plan, precisely about the first week of this month, this paper I'm presenting to you was presented in the University of Oxford. The person presented. So, re-engineering is not very new. It has been there for 8 years of time. Key measures include personalization of the size of public service, reducing the cost of governance by a slight number of personnel assistants, the president, the governor, the senators, the federal government. They are all witnesses to the fact that even a local government councillor goes on occasion there, he will shut his mouth and go to the front. Not to let the fact that he's there, supposed to be at the back. He will shut his way to the front so as to be recognized. And then we also have the fact that there are some people who are even going for prayer and fasting in order to become personal assistant, the personal assistant of the wife of the local government, the councillor. And there's something wrong somewhere. The person needs something something to think about that. It's not everywhere. And so, government has put in place a number of programs. we had what we call Operation Feed the Nation. The question to us is that, is that Operation Feed the Nation something feeding the whole nation? Let me answer later about that. Of course, we succeeded in not feeding the nation. Then we had Basic Development Authority that metamorphosed into Basket Development Authority. The water was leaking, money meant for that program was siphoned into private pockets, and so the program became a failure. That was the original program. Then Better Life for Rural Women, that was in book, all of you are aware of it. The later metamorphosed into Better Life for Royal Women and not for the rural women. Rural women had not because of the opportunity of going through that when it was happening. And so who was benefiting from that? Was it possible for the rural women to be transformed or engineered? No. So then we have family economic advancement program having there. How many families benefited from that particular program? By the special grace of God and the development, take a look at that particular document, the original document of that particular program. You see the name, you see my name there. I was selected as one of those from South to prepare documents for that. And the goal of such a program was defeated as it was later hijacked by politicians, and the tenets of it could not be achieved. Then we have poverty, National Poverty Education Program. But we end up being the number one headquarters of poverty in the whole world. What system? Multiplication of poverty. All these are good programs thought for by the government, but the implementation becomes something else. We also have NAD, National Director of Employment, School to Learn Program, Green Revolution, and all that. Fundamental question to ask here is that how many of these programs were very successful in the sustainable development program? The answer to that question. So, despite all the re-engineering and reform programs put in place by the successive government, to what extent we achieve sustainable development? The rate of poverty multiplies on daily basis. Exchange rate is astronomically high. As of this morning, a naira is exchanging for 706. A dollar is exchanging for 706 naira. The structure of Nigerian economy remains highly import dependent, consumption driven, and undiversified. The central question in the minds of Nigerians, all of us sitting here today is, what is government actually doing to pull the economy out of present situation in the road of sustainable development? The rate of insecurity in Nigeria has reached to an alarming dimension. That God in heaven is crying out of possession and anxiety. Nigeria has qualified as the poverty headquarters of the world. Looking for a job has become a job itself in Nigeria. Problems have multiplied despite all the re-engineering programs. And so, tough time requires tough action by government in order that the problem can be reduced. Let us take a look at the sustainable development initiatives. Sustainable development and poverty alleviation in developing countries have over the years been adjudged as a front-burner issue associated with the global commitment demonstrated by the United Nations. And so we have 17 sustainable development goals. This single paper cannot capture and articulate and diagnose all the 17 sustainable development goals. We shall select a few of them and do justice. It implies the balance for the three dimensions of sustainable development: economic, social, and environment. These are bound to stimulate action over the years in the critical areas of human existence. The strategies of implementation and the policies of these programs are very important. Basic poverty reduction programs, as identified by various poverty studies, reveal that Nigeria for today has only facilitated poverty. We are making the poverty reduction program to be very, very successful. Poverty is very significant and, of course, common in developing countries. About 1 billion people still live in absolute poverty in developing countries, of which Nigeria is one. About 40% structural development program. What extent is structural development program of it in Nigeria? It has some benefit and also has some disadvantage. But the benefit or the disadvantages overshadow the benefit. Simply because this happened to have been a World Bank important program that we don't understand the terrain before bringing it. So the disadvantage became enormous. Take a look at Sub-Saharan African dimension. How do they tackle their own poverty? Poverty studies of the countries in Sub-Saharan Africa have been a volatility and of course a merit and a speedy action in tackling the process and the problems of poverty. But yet in Nigeria, what we have now, what is if empowerment is done by government and now, who made the government do that? What does he do? He follows the money. What does he do? That collecting the money. That has an considerable effect on the development program. Let's take a look at Latin America. What method really go to tackling the poverty alleviation? Available records for the World Bank reveal that in Mexico, Guatemala, and Peru, about 50 to 50% of the poorest percentage of the population have access to water supply. But in Nigeria, what percentage of Nigerians have access to water supply? There are some villages around here that have never seen what we call pure water. They drink from the source of stream. That when you catch it, the color looks like a star. Some villages around us. So what is government doing in that regard? Ghana. Nobody's talking of Ghana is of the lower dimension. About 43% of them are living below the poverty line. The poor have income restraint, food is very scarce. If you take a look at Malawi, the experience of poverty alleviation in Malawi is very, very unique. As in 1980, up to 2020, about 56% of rural Malawians were stigmatized and caused identified as being very poor, but not as poor as Nigeria. For them are the typologies of political typologies of poverty alleviation program in Taiwan or Malawi. The poverty alleviation program in Malawi was focused on healthcare, education, public program, agriculture, and rural development. And of course, all this was very successful. The end of it is that the poverty alleviation program in Malawi was very, very successful. What about Bolivia? The program was very, very successful. Because the emphasis was on the project will adequately impact positively on the poor and actually make sure that these programs actually impact on the poor. So the program was very, very successful. Technically, also at Bolivia too, where Nigeria borrows this program we call school feeding program. How many children in Nigeria have been fed in this program? How much amount of money have been mentioned for school feeding program? Bolivia did this success. Nigeria said they were not going to the year. I'm not going to start. We take a look at this. Poverty alleviation efforts in this country have been restricted to food subsidy. They decided to be giving food subsidies in order to address the problems of poverty. And the program was very, very successful. Venezuela was also successful because they adopted a program called Beca and Alimentar, which is their own language, which simply means directing the resources to who is actually poor. There is a program to somebody who is adjudged to be poor in Nigeria. Who is the poor? Take a look at Honduras. This one adopted a program that we call Social Investment Fund to provide grants to small and medium enterprises for the purpose of entrepreneurship. And they did it, it was very, very successful. Nigeria borrowed from this and back on all these entrepreneurship and all that. Entrepreneurship, when properly handled, is an engine of providing problems to issues of sustainable development. But what extent have we been able to apply this and solve the problem of poverty? Honduras was very, very successful. Poverty alleviation stakeholders, Nigeria maybe, we use different agencies. agencies. I mentioned some of them. Talking about NDE, Operation Nation, Green Revolution, the later metamorphosis to Yellow Revolution, the latter could not be accessed by farmers. They were being diverted by those who were controlling them. So sustainable development will not be achieved. In Pakistan, the strategy of poverty elevation is employed by what they call Islamic pride and belief. These are Muslims. This poverty elevation initiative strategy is Zakat and Usha, but here, the drive that they adopted by making sure that issues of sustainable development were handled even from the grassroots, from the home, from the family. They succeeded in their own poverty elevation program. So we take a look at even from the grassroots, from the program. Now, there are so many issues that we talk about here in Nigeria that has affected achievement of sustainable development, despite all the re-engineering programs. Here is where policy failure comes in and this implication on sustainable development. Policies are judged as a guide for action. And the matter of fact, it is a management tool for administrative as well as managerial development. When the policy is faulty, how can we achieve a good result? Most of the policies in Nigeria are very, very poor. And so, being faulty becomes difficult to achieve the goal or the objective of such a policy. The failure of those policies associated with the poor policy formulation and implementation. Government may have a good program and come up with a policy, but the implementation program becomes a problem. Frequent policy shifts. We adjust the policy to shift. We shift it to match with whatever we want. A obtains the policy that is applicable to Mr. A may not be applicable to Mr. B. Who knows who sits on council? And so it affects sustainable. Once a while, the failure of policies would also be as a result of weak political will, top-down policy approach, top-down policy approach, top-down policy approach, unaccountable government, unstable policy, decision makers law for what is not proper, insecurity in the nation, untimeliness, square peg being put in wrong votes. Those that are qualified are not being put in the proper perspective. As a matter of fact, to be qualified for Nigerian position now, maybe for it is federal or any position in Nigeria. You don't even need to look for thinking coming along. If you can carry ballot box and run around, you are qualified. You can carry ballot box and run around. Or you are very good in bathing, condemning, and doing all sorts of indecent things. That is your own qualification in a country that we belong. Ethnic divisiveness and cultural escapism. These are why policies actually fail. Now, if I take a look at another aspect of what we call the trilogy of economic management that goes hand in hand with sustainable development, I single out a particular variable there, and that is exchange rate. There have been a lot of engineering, remodeling, and reform associated with the exchange rate since 1960 up to date. When you have a book about it, that's not right. The paper there has the engineering program from 1960 to date. And of course, I tell out this to be the reform programs and then the typology of political regimes in exchange rate and sustainable development from 1960 to 2020. Here you see different texts of state and the way in which they re-engineer the reform program that they took into action. How were they very successful in this reform program? In 1960, we had a CQF. It was civilian government. And so, system exchange rate was fixed. And yet, the political regime was civilian. And they had to readjust to what we call market system with planning control. They control the exchange. Then we come up to 1985. Exchange rate was being paid to a currency basket. And then and it was under what they call market system control and stabilization measure. That was the re-engineering basket that was put in place. And of course, it was during Babangida regime. After Babangida, we ended up having Shillington, 1993. Exchange rate was 22%. And we adopted a floating exchange rate, managed floating exchange rate. Of course, this was an interim government. That all the folk and the Canadian were adjusting and re-engineering. The period was very short. Up to Canadian, and then a wonderful president, we have been compelled to refer to his own administration as Buharinomics. The exchange rate has so climbed to such an Atlantic height that an average Nigerian is trying. It's good. It's trying. As at this morning, like I told you earlier, the rate of dollar to naira is 706. You know the value. This affects sustainable development in so many ways. Even consumption. There's nobody there that does not consume. Especially most of you that don't even believe in using anything that's made in Nigeria. Especially ladies. You don't want to consume a product that's made in Nigeria. You want to get it from Saudi Arabia. You want to get it from some other countries of the world. Unfortunately, we have some other countries now, like what they do is to manufacture a product and stamp it made in the Philippines. You buy in the morning, in the afternoon, it's spoiled. Because it's not in proper. It affects the system. It affects the system. Seriously. Effect on the system is there. Seriously. The regime of flexible exchange rate, I don't want to summarize this. Re-engineering and policy relevance. Re-engineering to recognize the policy of government, the policy in place in order that we can achieve sustainable development. If we embark on re-engineering program that does not guarantee efficient, effective, and sustainable performance, then such re-engineering program is a failure. Before we emphasize re-engineering, problem must have been identified, and a new system that comes should be sought to provide solutions to the questions that have been identified. Of course, obvious solutions to dividend questions must be provided in the re-engineering program. And of course, we must move in line with the policies of the country. My duty in this academic conference or assignment is simply to lay the foundation for the conference, to take off, and then examine for that. And so, I have provided the intellectual manual to all of us. Go ahead. And in preparing this assignment, it calls for intellectual articulation. Of course, taking intellectual baptism for the younger ones. Some of you here might not have attended some conferences. And so, I welcome you to this tradition, and I call it an intellectual baptism. Therefore, very critical. It's very important bringing together scholars, researchers, policymakers, innovative personnel from all fields of human endeavor to fertilize their ideas and provide solutions to the problems of development associated with engineering, reform, and sustainable development. This conference is underpinned to develop strong advocacy, capable of helping individuals, helping the government, helping firms, helping Nigeria as a whole and the external world in attaining sustainable development. It is in this slide, therefore, that the academic study of Polytechnic of Surah presents analytically well. Of course, if it's necessary to organize this conference, I salute each and every one. And I wish that you continue with it. It is a welcome development in the academic study. Because this is aimed at providing giving a solution to obvious problems of sustainable development in Nigeria. The theme is discussed under a number of headlines that we have there: the policies of political system for sustainable development, energy and economic growth for sustainable development, safe and sustainable environment for the development, quality and affordable education for sustainable development, innovation in science, technology, and engineering for sustainable development, justice, equity, and partnership for sustainable development, innovation in communication for sustainable development. All these work in concert. I make bold to say, as a member of Nigerian Vision 2030 to 2050, let me tell you precisely that this conference moves in line with Vision 2030 to 2050 of the federal government. The members is simply to transform the world. So it where hands can talent element. Most government build houses from the capital foundation. Despite the crusade of fighting corruption and ensuring sustainable development, mission, economy, tears, hunger, and poverty appear in an astronomical dimension. This affects sustainable development. Soldiers of corruption do not seem to have faith, but whoever looks for equity must have faith. A country that does not attach important education is bound to fail. Your children are now at home, just to university. For how many months now? And you are going to industrial court without knowing the implication of the court. Cannot take less than 5 years. 8 years to be so. They will have ministers. It is not just enough to sit in a traditional room with that father and call yourself a minister without a thinking cap. The creativity must be there. The thinking cap must be there to address issues, to solve problems, because problems will surely come. Wherever you are now, you must be witnessing one problem or the other in different dimensions. You must have the thinking cap to provide solutions to problems. Sometimes the thought can be good, but it takes a longer time. And so our children are there at home. And yet, a responsible government that will feel or that claim to be responsible is allowing them. And you are going about singing, I'm a lecturer, it is my tongue, and all of that. And yet, but then, that's the part of government. The Nigerian educational system has surprising outcome. The intellectuals are denied opportunity to serve and contribute their quota in revamping this failed nation and achieve sustainable development. Rather, some of those that could not make it in school and were not found feeling character and learning, but qualified as dropout, they seem to be in control of power. They form a cabal, and with this cabal, become difficult to break. These categories enter politics and maneuver things. They take over leadership and maneuver situations to manage the intellectual and allied group in the society. Sadly enough, very, very sad enough, the failure, those that fail, have makeshift qualification. Some will even present what they call never been. And some with questionable integrity, they enter the underworld of crime and control the politician and the business world, as well as the business of government. Again, some of these, or those ones that will not even attend schools, they are now the fathers of faith, the prophets, the imams, the daddies, and all that. The bishops of political parties, of course, you know the particular political party that specializes in defining and ordaining bishops. That is the political party. All these affect the process of sustainable development. In a country like Japan, a corrupt person would simply kill himself because he doesn't have anything corrupt. He will go ahead and kill himself. In China, the people will even kill him. Then in Europe, the government will jail him for that. But in Africa, corrupt persons are really celebrated. They are given 50 that and he presents himself for election. In the Nigerian system, some people occupy offices without commitment. They don't even have the capacity and thinking cap. and a pride of place without responsibility. We have abused the law and interpreted the law to suit our own context and not what it's supposed to be. All these variables, jointly and severally, impact on nation and of course in detriment of our sustainable development. Therefore, there's a clear call for institutional reorientation of Nigeria so we see things right in order that we can solve this problem that has neglected even the dry bones of the children of God. This polytechnic has a role to play in achieving sustainable development in this environment, to the state, and to the country. In as much as I appreciate the state government for all that they have done, but there is room to do more. And so, as a very senior stakeholder in the academic subsector of this country, I never advocate that having taken a look at our state polytechnic and seen all that is available, and having assessed many schools to be qualified for the of the society, I advocate that the polytechnic of Surah should be converted to a degree of awarded institution. It could be State University of Science and Technology, and of course, this forms the basis of sustainable development for this action. Why do I say this? I have seen the plight of our Peruvian children. I have seen the plight of Nigerian children. The university, college university A, may have about 16,000 people that apply for admission. And NUC says take only 5,000. Where would the 11,000 go to? All of them are qualified and they are roaming the streets. In a Peru, some may not know what is called, there's a term there, what they call catchment area. Some just choose university anyhow. Not that they are not qualified, but in the end they are not being taken. And so it becomes a problem. When we have a University of Science and Technology complement what we have in the state, I think, and I believe sincerely well, that will go a long way to solve the problem of our own children in Akwa State. And when we solve the problem of our children in Akwa State, by giving them basic and sustainable education, we shall join the crusade of saying bye to sustainable the problems of sustainable development. We shall solve the problem more. We shall have more hands, we shall have more capacity, more capability. We're not end up having children who only believe that they should remain as thugs, political thugs, to be used and done at the end. Rather, to make good use of their own brain and come up with education of their hands. Not only having qualification, but being able to use such a qualification perfectly well. Nigeria should reduce public spending on irrelevant programs that are not important or that are not investment driven. Nigerians do not need the fish. All they need is that the government is how to empower and teach them the technology of manufacturing the fish. Teach them the technology of manufacturing the fish. I said earlier that in some schools, recently I worked for, all the chairs we use there are being manufactured by the students in the Department of Vocational Education. That can also happen. That can also happen in some other universities. That can happen in some other universities. That can happen in many other lines that sustainable development to right. So having youth with intellectual capacity and thinking back, so as to be true leaders of tomorrow. And of course, not youth that are aware by ignorance. To believe youth are true leaders of tomorrow. What extent are they the true leaders? When those who are supposed to be their ancestors are so make them true leaders. All we need to do is simply to give them the basic education. Teach them that ignorance is not good. Let them go to school. Let them also provide creativity and not allow themselves to be used and done as political purposes. Build a system where education is valued as a pillar of sustainable development. And of course, it's my own belief that the absence of this variable renders a fair solution. Thank you very much.
very much. Please can we keep clapping? To the next to safe, please. Thank you very much. That was wonderful keynote address by Professor P.L. Akpan of the University of Uyo. Before I call on the rapporteur, when the citation of this great scholar was read, I told myself this should be the end of conference. Yes, if it were possible, we would have said, let's go home. Because he is an embodiment that should be studied. Please let us encourage this great son and our friend. Thank you very much. I want to bring on the rapporteur in the person of Dr. Nse Obot to please come and do justice to that presentation. Can we please appreciate him?
I wish to apply that I be allowed to stand on the existing protocol so established. The job is tall one. The man that I'm going to talk about this paper to bear me witness is not of this climate. So I want to say that let me make attempts to see what we can get out of his paper. I want to begin by saying that he defined re-engineering as a process of remodeling, reforming, rearranging, redesigning systems to achieve the required objective. In this case, sustainable development. He also went further to mention that when we are talking about nations, we are talking about a political entity. In this case, emphasis was on Nigeria. He moved further to mention that when we are looking at sustainable development, we are talking about a development that can provide immediate benefits, but do not compromise the future. And he outlined about 17 Millennium Development Goals, but he centered on about 3. He went on to mention that Nigeria as a nation has failed in many aspects. He went further to compare Nigeria, taking into account the area of interest to him, picking out from the Millennium Development Goal, a big poverty elevation, a big exchange rates. He mentioned so many programs put forward by Nigerian government to re-engineer the system to achieve a reduction in poverty. He mentioned Operation Feed the Nation. He talked about NAPEC and many others. And he pinpointed that all of these programs failed because Nigeria lacks political will. Corruption has taken over everything. And because of that, none of those strategies were able to succeed. When comparing Nigeria with other nations in and out of Africa, Nigeria stands out as the highest or the most prominent when it comes to poverty, counting from behind. When you talk about exchange rates, you compare many nations that strategies put forward in solving this problem of exchange rate, like the floating exchange rate, the fixed market regime. All this landed not successful because Nigeria is characterized by a high level of poverty, insecurity, and insincerity. He then go ahead to provide some solutions to these issues. He therefore mentioned that as we are here gathered at the end of it, it should not be just academic exercise or what he called academic tradition, but we should come out with recommendation and send to the government. The first thing he mentioned in that list was strong advocacy for institution and policy formation. He moved further to say that we should recommend to government the issue of institutional reorientation, where institutions are given the strength to perform how they were established. He moved further to ring technique, that Akwa State Polytechnic should be upgraded or converted to
Science, Michael Opara University. He obtained his master's in science. University of Uyo, he also obtained another master's in science. And the University of Calabar, where he had his PhD. He was first appointed a professor of physical and computational chemistry in 2015. He has offered several academic missionary services in some tertiary institutions, including the University of Port Harcourt, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikorosurwa, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Akwa Ibom State University, Kolopaten, Michael Opara University, Umudike, Federal University, Lokoja, Kaduna State University, and currently in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Professor Edi has graduated more than 100 undergraduate and 50 postgraduate students and has held several grant-sponsored research teams at both national and international levels, especially in computational chemistry, fertilizer chemistry, nanotechnology, corrosion inhibition, water purification, drug development, and catalysis. He has published more than 200 articles in first-class international journals. He is currently the most cited Nigerian scientist in physical science, the ADI ranking of scientists in the world, and one of the top 2% scientists in the world, Stanford University ranking. Professor Nabo is the editor-in-chief of 2 Nigerian university journals, 3 international journals, and a member of the editorial board on 15 international journals. Professor Edi was an active academic staff of the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikorosuwa, and enjoyed several extensive privileges, such as examination officer to the Science Laboratory Technology Department, the manager of the instrument room in the said department also. He enjoyed 3 rank-jumped promotions from assistant lecturer to lecturer 1 in the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic. After a remarkable recommendation from the National Board for Technical Education and the management, due to his contribution to the full accreditation of the SLT program on first visitation. In the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, he also received a double jumped promotion from the rank of lecturer 1 to an associate prof. Professor Edi has some administrative experiences in the university system, including head of department, dean, postgraduate coordinator, examination officer, chairman of curriculum development, and he is an external examiner to 12 Nigerian universities, 4 foreign universities, and a visiting scholar to 2 foreign universities, and a consultant to the National Open University of Nigeria and others. He has also played Thank you very much. He has also played several leading roles in national, regional, and international research and policy formations. He was a scholar to the University of Rwanda under the sponsorship of the Nigerian government between 2013 to 2014. From 2015 to date, Okoledi has
marketing and ensure that people
Still clapping. Do it better for Professor Nabu Kokonedi. Professor of Physical and Computational Chemistry. Thank you very much. Please, we can sit. All the way from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, he has come down here to sound even more clear and even more scholarly, telling us how to be an academic. He's also towing the line of helping to ventilate a suffocating nation. Please, can we appreciate him? Even as I call on Dr. Emmanuel Edens to come and do the repertoire for this lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I want to plead that I be allowed to follow the already established protocol. I feel so privileged and honored to act as a repertoire to an erudite scholar, Professor M.O. Edith. The speaker streamlined our theme to the role of academics in engineering, re-engineering Nigerian system for sustainable development. And he started by giving the audience information that looks biblical by stating that anything that is built on a strong rock is bound to stand. In sustainable development, he identified 3 items. These are that it must meet the needs of the system, must be able to overcome challenges. It must not compromise to the future. He also informed us on characters that people who need sustainability must have. They must not mind the condemnation. They must have sound documentation standards. The Prof also listed 17 sustainable development goals and assessed them based on the facts on ground. These facts, according to him, are on poverty rate, exchange rate, hunger rate, and also on economic indices. On this fact, he highlighted that they should increase, indicating that something is wrong with our development goals. He also touched other facts on ground based on healthcare, budgeting for health, education sector, industrial production, and clean energy, such as solar, hydro, and biofuel. On this, he found out that their output was very, very low, indicating that there is a problem also. He harped on gender inequality, using indices like violence, forced marriages, sexual abuse, religious discrimination. The presenter also looked at the 17 sustainable development goals from the online opinion that he conducted, which showed that there were decreases up to 50% of the expected facts. He spoke on tested solutions that Nigeria have adopted and why they failed. Those areas that he touched were on political, religious, military, and traditional solutions. They failed because of unprofessionalism, non-accountability, cultism, poor advisors, pride, religious sentiments, among others. And the most interesting fact was when he took us to the way out of these problems. Some of the ways that he mentioned are that we should be good mentors that will not compromise the truth. He also quoted a portion that says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." To crown it all, in his paper, he told us that sustainability and re-engineering of our nation's system rests on academicians. A true academician, according to him, must be truthful, must be ready to develop teaching strategies, must develop teaching methods, must develop researches that are researchable and contribute to development. Such researches must be published in renowned journals. Then he narrowed down and concluded the paper by giving us consolation and respite that despite our plight and challenges in academics, we should be consoled on the fact that we are always able to produce testimonies that we can leave behind. I never knew that Professor Nago is the lover of music until when he decided to conclude his lecture with his song written by Bucky Ube. Teach me the way, teach them the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel Edit, for doing justice to the presentation by Professor Nabo Idi. We are going straight to goodwill messages. We want to first thank the one from the Dean, the Chairman College of Deans, who happens to be Dr. Owana Udoite of the School of Applied Sciences. Please can we appreciate it?
Director, State Polytechnic, here represented by the Deputy Director. Our keynote paper presenter, our lead paper presenter, deans of schools, directors, heads of departments, dear colleagues, delighted to stand here this afternoon to present a goodwill message on behalf of my colleagues for this wonderful work that ASUP is doing for us. I must commend them, having been in committees organizing conferences in the past. I know that it is not an easy task for them to put together this beautiful conference with this level of participation, bringing in scholars from within and outside the country. We must commend them. We appreciate what you've done. And I want to remind us again that we have been challenged today by the two presenters we've had so far, that in fixing our economy, getting Nigeria of our dream to be, we as lecturers in our various disciplines have a role to play. By the way we administer the assignment given to us as lecturers. I want to share with the opinion of one of our colleagues. I said that we tend to look down on the role of the polytechnic education in a developing economy like ours. And I think what we have been taught today has reminded us. The keynote paper presenter told us that in one of the institutions where he has served, the students were able to produce what they needed in that institution. I think polytechnics should be the forerunner in that regard. But before I drop the mic, I want to correct one impression that since 2009, that ASUP had the last conference. It's like we've not had anything since then. You and I know that when ASUP was on leave, so to say, that there was a department that stood up and bridged the gap. On that note, I want us to appreciate the person that initiated that idea and put that up until, I think it was COVID-19 that put off the Science Technology Conference. So can we appreciate the immediate past dean of the School of Applied Sciences in the person of Mrs. Mercy. I am a beneficiary of that conference. And many of us got our promotions through that conferences. And I know so many people that outside this institution, outside the state, that benefited from that conference. So while ASUP was on break, that department filled up the gap. Now that they are back, I want to encourage and challenge other departments, other groups, come up with something. It is good. I like what the keynote paper presenter said, that it is a tradition. In academics, if you want to grow, you must participate in conferences. Do well to try to present. Your presentation may not be perfect in the first instance, but as you continue to make good use of opportunities like this, you'll discover that even if you are going to present at international platforms, it's not going to be very different from what you see here. So I want to encourage us, if you've said in your paper, do well to try and make your presentation. Once again, we thank you, ASUP, for putting together this conference, and we appreciate and wish that this will not be the last one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We want to take another goodwill message from the president, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic Multipurpose Cooperative Society, who also is the Dean School of Communication Arts, Dr. Lionel Ukoka. Please can we appreciate it?
Director, sir, here represented by the director, members of the high table, Dear colleagues, this is a goodwill message from the president of AKPOLY and the management. I represent the management of AKPOLY. I want to commend ASUP chairman and members of his executive. They've done well. I think when we started, because I'm part of ASUP, when we started with the ASUP ban, people were saying that the ASUP want people to drink alcohol. And the chairman said alcohol is better than water because water contains bacteria. So, and after that, we now move to the secretariat, which we have seen. This is less than 2 years. We have a well-furnished secretariat. I said, I just said, he's learning. So we want to commend his team for the conference, which as one of our colleagues here said, he said, it's a tradition. In academic, if you don't publish, you do what? You perish. There are criteria for promotion, and that includes conference papers, journal articles, sometimes textbooks when you go higher. So at least for some of you that are still in the promotion cadre, this conference, it will be one of the papers that you will present in your promotion interview. I also want to thank the local organizing committee chaired by our amiable librarian. It has been very wonderful, and I believe that Dr. Mrs. Ukwana, I hope that this conference will be an annual event. Polyco is solidly behind during the orientation program. It was emphasized that in Akwa State Polytechnic, there is no shortcut to wealth. But I countered that and said, there is only one permitted shortcut to wealth, and that is being a member of the poly. So I want to stand here and commend all those that were involved in the planning of this conference. And I believe all of us are going to benefit from it. Whether you present the paper or you don't present, you listen to others. Because you can also know how conference papers are presented. So that when we go out of this place to other institutions, you will not be found wanting. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the President. We want to take another goodwill message from the chairperson of the first national conference of ASUP, Akwa State Polytechnic, Ikorosulwa, and the immediate past dean, School of Applied Sciences, Mrs. Mercy Omaka. So please let us appreciate this great woman of substance. That is not for this woman if you know her. Please clap for this lady.
Thank you very much, the chairman. Our rector will be represented by the deputy rector. Please, let me start on the existing protocol. I am very delighted today to find that ASUP is organizing another conference. Over the years, I have tried with chairman of ASUP and it didn't work. And then when this particular system came up, I have kept every time the chairman will put up a flyer of conferences, sometimes Karuna, Meduguri, Damaturu, I will ask him, where is our own? Why are you sending us to Meduguri? And some places will be having to face Boko Haram and bandits. Let us have our conference. And every time you say, Madam, let us complete ASUP house. I don't want us to hold conference in assembly hall or cafeteria. I want us to hold our conference in ASUP house. I want to congratulate the chairman for these great feats that we have been able to come here in our own hall and run this conference. I appreciate the ASUP executive. I say more grease to your elbows, more grace from the throne of God. May the Lord bless you richly in Jesus' name. I want to really appreciate the management of the institution for not looking down at our conferences. Like my dean said, the Department of Science and Technology started conference in 2007 before the ASUP conference was held in 2009. And why I'm thanking the institution is that when that conference started, it was a first of its kind. The Commissioner for Education that time, Dr. Ebego came and, encouraged the rector that time that the management should accept the papers for publication and challenge us to float a journal. And management accepted. There is nobody that has presented papers in those conferences, whether Scientech or ASUP, that was denied promotion, except that some people made those conferences their only domain, and of course that cannot be accepted. So I thank management for such recognition of our conferences. And come to think of it, I must say, if you look at our conferences on this campus, they are of very high standards, higher than some of the places we pay a lot of money outside of here to attend. Please, can we clap for them? I want to congratulate every person that has sent in one paper or more for this conference. Because without those papers, this conference will not work out. I thank our keynote address and our own of the department. When I say our own, of the Department of Science, our lead paper presenter, we have learned a lot from you. I say, may God continue to increase you to higher heights. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We also want to have another goodwill message from the President, Women in Academic, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikorosura chapter, in the person of Dr. Mrs. Beauty Abasiego. Please let us appreciate Women in Academic.
Women in academics. Fight for excellence. Fight for excellence. Women in academics. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Still standing on the existing protocol. I want to stand stand here this afternoon to appreciate God for this unique gift He has given to our institution. I want to thank our guest speakers who have spent time from far and near distances to come and grace this occasion for us. Our lead speaker and our keynote address, we are very grateful. God bless you for making this date a success. Like our mama have said, we always call her the mama of science tech. We cannot appreciate the management of this institution enough for the support they have always given to us when it comes to conferences and academic advancement. On behalf of the rector here represented by the deputy rector and all management staff here present, we want to say to put this occasion together. We really appreciate your efforts. And the LOC committee who have worked tirelessly to put this together. We are grateful. We in Women in Academics, we are not anything outside ASUP. We are all ASUP members. And that is why some of us are also part of the ASUP executive. However, we understand the situations surrounding a woman in any career. Although our own Professor Eddie said, I should not say I am a woman, but we are proudly women. Because we know the special grace God has input in us. We are specially made. We are specially packaged. We are well designed. To meet the needs of life. And that is why, because of our specificity, and because of our uniqueness, we decided to come together as a group. Not to separate ourselves from ASUP, but to work with ASUP. To do the job of women, both in the home and also in our place of work. Support our leaders, work under rules and regulations, and keep the flag of this institution flying. We also come together so that we can support each other based on our uniqueness. Because we know that sometimes some of us could have some challenges as a woman, very unique challenges. We are vulnerable in many areas of life. We are victims of some situations. But when we come together as a force, we become very strong. And in that strength, we lay our strength behind ASUP. And that this ASUP will continue to grow from grace to grace. Our support will declare to this executive that we will always be by you, to work with you, to advise you, to guide you, and to submit wherever it is necessary. Thank you very much.
That sounds somewhat political, but can we appreciate the President, Women in Academics, and she is also the treasurer of ASUP AKPOLY chapter. Please can we appreciate her? Thank you very much. It is very interesting that we happen to gather here today to brainstorm on the way forward to solving the problems of our nation and beyond. This gathering was spearheaded by an individual who had to gather other people together to make sure that this day come true. It is time for us to have a vote of thanks from the local organizing committee chairman, who happens to be the Polytechnic Librarian in the person of Dr. Mrs. Mercy Okpana, CLN. Please can we appreciate this woman even as she comes up to take the vote of thanks. Okay, thank you very much. I understand that before the vote of thanks is taken, the rector, who is ably represented by the deputy rector here, is going to present certificates to the lead speaker and the keynote speaker. Thank you very much. So we call on the rector. We call on the keynote speaker to please come forward for your certificate. Thank you.
On behalf of the Director of AKPOLY State Polytechnic, I hereby present this certificate of participation to Professor Patrick L. Akpan, who participates at the second International Conference of ASUP, AKPOLY State Polytechnic chapter, and presented paper titled Re-Engineering Nation Systems for Sustainable Development, Ventilating a Suffocating Nation.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Prof. We're going to have the Polytechnic Librarian present his certificate to the lead speaker. So I call on the lead speaker to please come forward for the certificate.
On behalf of ASUP, AKPOLY State Polytechnic, the organizers of the second international conference that is holding at Ikorosuroi today, I present this certificate of participation to you, Professor Nabo Ogun Idi, for your participation and presentation of a paper that is titled The Role of Academics in Engineering Nigeria Systems for Sustainable Development. Thanks.
Congratulations, bro. Now the vote of thanks by the Chairperson Conference Committee, Dr. Mrs. Mercy Okpana, CLN. Madam.
Good afternoon, distinguished scholars. Please permit me to stand on the already erected protocol. You agree with me that what I'm about to do has already been done, so I'm just coming up to round up the thanks. First of all, we are grateful to God Almighty who has made this day a reality. We thank Him for the safe journeys He has granted to our guest speakers and to all our participants. We thank Him for the clement weather and for all He has done for us. We say, may His name be highly exalted in the name of Jesus Christ. We are grateful to the management of this institution. Our amiable rector, Dr. Moses Umobo, here represented by the Deputy Rector, Engineer Dr. Okonosum, and his management team, for giving us the approval to hold this conference and for making it mandatory for all academic staff in this institution to participate in this conference. Sir, we say thank you. We are grateful to our keynote speaker, Professor and Associate Professor B.L. Akban. He has told us a lot that in Nigeria, job seeking is actually a job on itself. So if we forget everything, we will not forget that one. I will not also forget the advocacy that you've made, that the standard of this institution should be raised to a degree awarding institution. Professor and Professor Mrs. God bless you. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We are grateful to the lead presenter, Professor Ndabuk Edi. In all he said, one thing I heard, that for sustainable development to be achieved, we need librarians. Thank God I am a librarian, so we have achieved that. I am grateful to the deans, the HODs, the directors that are here for making this day a very good success. We appreciate you for finding time to come and stay with us. We appreciate the media team, the press, the technical team. Thank you very much. We appreciate our amiable ASUP chairman who has made this to happen, and all his ESCO members. We appreciate all members of ASUP. Great ASUP! God bless you all. We appreciate members of the local organizing committee who work tirelessly for this day to be as it is. May the good Lord reward them abundantly. We appreciate our students who are helping us in all they are able to do for us in order for us to succeed. We appreciate our participants. Without you, there will be no second international conference. Imagine if I will come out to stand as a chairman, local organizing committee, and there are no participants, so there will be no conference. Thank you very much. I will also want to appreciate all authors. Soon after now, we are going into a technical section. Please don't be tired, we have to do it. We appreciate all those that have sent in their articles. Even as at this morning, people are still sending their abstracts. We thank you all for giving us what to work with. We appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing I want to say, our God is a merciful God. From the address of the chairman of ASUP, I understand the person that was leading in the planning of 2009 conference answered Mercy, Mrs. Mercy Umakaso. I am standing here and I answer Mercy, and the wife of the keynote speaker answers Mercy. A round of applause to the merciful God that has seen us through in all that we do. To him be all the glory, to him be all the honor, to him be all the adoration. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here with us. We will continue tomorrow, and it will be greater. I know by the grace of God
2023 conference will be better than what we have today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam, for thanking us and have not thanked yourself. So we thank you very much. Can we appreciate her? We are getting very closer to the plenary session for today. I understand that while you have the download of the book of abstract, you have AH, that is for Art and Humanities, and those who stay in this hall. And then for those of Science, Engineering, and Technology with the code SET, they'll be going to the library for their plenary. And those with Education, Justice, who go to Mass Communication Department, Justice and everything, those will go to the Mass Communication Department for the plenary. It is time for us to pray, and after which the chairman of ASUP would lead the members of the high table for a group photograph just outside this hall, where we have made a wonderful decoration that will fit this conference. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call on the Director, Polytechnic Advancement, the person of Dr. Anthony Iwo, to come and say the closing prayers. Thank you very much. Can we appreciate God? Thank you.
Please, can we rise and have a closing prayer? Father, we thank you for what you started. It is said that well beginning is how done. You've started well. As we are about closing, I ask you to send your angels to guide us to our respective homes. In fact, if we are to start the technical session, I pray that you send an extra strength to the staff and the participants so that they continue to ventilate their views properly and have scientific knowledge. As we are going, take us to our respective homes. For the profs that have come to ventilate their ideas, wherever they are going, let them have a smooth journey as they had come. Let them go safely with their wife and whatever people they have come with. We ask you this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The chairman of ASUP will lead members of the head table for a group photograph at the back where we have the conference flex. As we dismiss to a different plenary section, let me remind all participants that the lead speaker too will be speaking with us from the University Putra, Malaysia, from tomorrow by 10. He is a distinguished Professor Nayan D.S. Kanwa. He will be speaking with us via Zoom. So I encourage all participants to be here on time to join a renowned scholar. Please, members of the high table should file out here. Please don't go outside again. File out here for a group photograph. The chairman is already waiting for you. Sorry. The rector, represented by the DREC and other management staff, the chairman, immediately below the head table for the group photograph. Please, photographers should get ready and arrange members of the head table. Photographers, get ready.
should take their group photograph outside where we have the flags. Okay, please, I'm just been reliably informed by the Secretary LOC that tomorrow's lead paper 2 by the distinguished professor from Malaysia will be by 9. The presentation tomorrow will be by 9 via Zoom. And the plenary session will continue immediately after the lead paper presentation tomorrow. Please kindly avail yourself, all participants, and be part of this academic tradition. On behalf of the chairman and members of ASUP, on behalf of the local organizing committee, I want to thank all participants for finding time to be part of this opening ceremony. And I wish you a rewarding celebration as you move to your different venues for the plenary sessions. Thank you, and God bless.